Robots, Rangers, and racism. The 45th Super Sentai season has kicked off in some interesting directions. My name is Achilles, and let's talk about Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. It's that time of the year when we get a new Super Sentai season, but it's also that time of the decade when the coveted anniversary season comes around, and this time, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger steps up to the plate. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone that's shared my videos or subscribed to the YouTube or Twitch. We're about to break 500 subscribers, which is something that means a lot to me. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button down below. It would really mean a lot to me, writers. With Zenkaiger being the 45th anniversary of Sentai, it had some pretty big shoes to fill. Past anniversaries like Gokaiger were able to capitalize on the legacy of Super Sentai by using cameos and fun gimmicks while still serving an interesting story. So let's start with story because episode 1 gives us the basics of our plot. Evil upper-class Kikainoids are locking parallel worlds inside these black gears. Something goes wrong, and instead of capturing the last world standing, they transfer part of Kikaitopia there on accident. Our main protagonist, Goshikita Kaito, recognizes these light forms as being from a parallel planet that his parents discovered before their mysterious disappearance. Rich robots stage an invasion, Kaito discovers secret lab his parents built, Grandma is not on board, Kaito enlists the help of commoner Kikainoid Juran to use the guns that his parents made, and guns turn them into Zenkaiser and Zenkai Juran respectively. It may sound like a pretty standard setup, but this first episode is actually packed full of ideas. For one, finishing our first episode with just 2 team members is a bold and exciting choice. It gives us more time with our main protagonist as well as the story. This is especially good news for Juran, because going into the season, I kind of felt like having 4 robot characters could be redundant. They're just not able to emote as well as human actors, plus those big suits cannot be good for movement, but so far my concerns have been quelled. I feel like it's easy to convey fun and energetic with just body movements, but Juran's story gets a lot more complex in this episode. He's just trying to fit in, even if he's kind of forcing it a little.
Howdy do, fellow kids.
What?
He's hanging out and having a ball with these kids before the attack, but after that, they just see him as another Kikainoid invader. And this is where the most fascinating part of the episode comes in. Surprise, racism. If you watch my wrap up of 01, you know that there's times that I think that show tiptoes on addressing racism in a more mature way than just we're all the same on the inside, but it never quite does. So color me surprised when Sentai, the show that's supposed to be for a younger demographic than Rider, gets really deep with Juran for a few minutes. He even turns down the Geertlinger when Kaito first offers it to him. He's questioning his worth in this new world through no fault of his own. You instantly feel for the guy that was just doing the dance from Beat It a few scenes earlier. It's something that I'd like to see the show expand on more. Juran's not the only Kikainoid on the team, so I wonder how the public would take to being attacked and protected by members of the same race. Speaking of the rest of the team, they all make cameo appearances in this first episode. You can see Gaon and Majin in the first few shots of Kikainoids being teleported, and Vroom is the janitor for the big bads, which leads to all kinds of crazy possibilities. Are we getting an undercover ranger this season? I don't know, time will tell. And I would be crazy not to point out how much I love the suits for this show. Zenkaiser looks absolutely majestic when on screen. The clean white and gold is just unbeatable in my book. I wonder why. But I also love the designs of the Kikainoids. From the citizens to the villains to Juran himself, everyone looks pretty dynamic. I've heard people say that they were surprised that Super Sentai was doing an android motif so close to Kamen Rider 01's Humagear gimmick. While I definitely think there are similarities, Zenkaiger treats its androids more like alien beings rather than workforce gimmicks. Plus, I think the fact that they're dressed from head to toe in costume for sure helps. So I spent very little time talking about our main character, Zenkaiser himself, Kaito, so here we go. He's okay.
He's okay, folks.
I don't mean this as bad as it sounds, so let me explain. At the beginning of the episode, Kaito says he wants to be the first person to do something amazing, which kinda makes this world sound boring as hell, right? But his parents discovered parallel worlds and he thinks jumping off a building will top that? My dude, get a little more creative. Kaido is your prototypical do-gooder hero that we get often in this franchise, and the most interesting about him is the mystery surrounding his parents. Where did they disappear to? Why did they keep the Sentai worlds a secret but not the Kikainoids? And who decided to store the Sentai powers in gears because damn they look cool? All in all, I'm saying that Kaido has a lot of room to grow, and I'm excited for that. He has as much to learn about his parents as he does about the Kikainoids. So let's take that journey with him and see what we can learn ourselves. And just to hit on the visuals real quick, they're gorgeous. The fight scene in the explosion was stunning, but this shot right here goes in the Sentai Hall of Fame.
Zenkai!
If you don't know, I've teamed up with Pronghorn Heroes to launch a new podcast, the Tokusatsu World Tour. You can join us live every Tuesday on my Twitch as we talk about one episode of Toku from Toei's YouTube channel. And if you can't watch us live, you can catch it the next morning at youtube.com/pronghornheroes or on any podcast service of your choice. But as always, I want to know what you thought of Zenkaiger. Leave your opinions in the comments section down below, or come talk to me about it live on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Also, I want to be friends with you. Come find me on any social media. They are all right there on the screen. Please don't forget to henching that like button into a blue boy and rider kick that subscribe button. I would be super Sentai grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.